Good Saturday morning to all my subscribers. Welcome to the Garlet's High Performance Garage channel. There's a few things I'm going to touch on here this morning. This past week has been fucking terrible. This has been a very, very, very bad, awful fucking week for me. And for a few other people I know. Okay, so where I'm going to start, I'm going to start with Election Day. All right, Donald Trump is reelected president. Fucking fantastic. I'm proud of everybody going out there and voting that fucking bunch of ass wipes out of there. We definitely needed those motherfuckers to hit the fucking road, and we made our fucking voice be known. We made what we want be known. Thanks to everybody for going out there and voting that asshole out of office and that dumb fucking bitch showing her the fucking road. I know he ain't gonna get in there till January, but the Middle East has started peace talks already. Things are happening already. All he had to do is make one fucking phone call and shit's happening already. So it goes to show you who the real fucking peacekeeper here is, who the real fucking man is. So anyway, after work Tuesday, on Election Day, I had a plan for leaving work there. It was quitting time. I told everybody, I'm like, going to get down, get my new glasses, which I got. I'm going to now get my new glasses. Then I'm going to go to the school and vote. I'm going to go home, eat me a good dinner, and watch the election results. That was the plan. Well, I get into the big blue fucking Mercury. I get down the road. I get to the intersection down there where I always pull out, and I have to go straight across the intersection, okay? Straight across. Bunch of vehicles passing, that road's always fucking busy, that Route 36 down in Frostburg. It's always fucking busy. It is one busy motherfucker all the time. All right, so I'm getting out there. I'm looking. There's nothing coming. And because I'm going straight, the guy across from me, there's a Chevy Cavalier with a young guy in it, has his turn signal on. He wants to turn to go towards Midland. I want to go straight and go to LaVale. So I look, nothing coming. It's a beautiful day, sun's out. I start across, that kid nails it and fucking hits me. Hits me right in my fucking front fender, caves my fucking front fender in, bends my fucking suspension up front, knocks the valve stem off my fucking wheel. My parking light, it's everywhere. And there I am. He hit me fucking hard, I just about flew. If I wouldn't have had my seatbelt on, I'd have flew clear up out of the fucking seat. I'd have been laying on the passenger side. And that short distance, he got up enough speed to demolish his car. His fucking car it's fucking totaled. I mean, it is bad. It crinkled that son of a bitch up like a piece of fucking tinfoil. It made me realize how strong these fucking Panther platform cars are. So, people were scattering around there thinking that I'm hurt because he jumped up out of his car. He's running over towards me, asking if I'm okay. The foreman on my job, he's there. He was behind me, waiting to get out onto the road. He runs up there. He's asking me if I'm okay. And I'm in the world of, what the fuck? I'm in this, that boy spun me into a world of holy fucking shit that I'd never been in before. So I'm looking around thinking, what in the fuck just fucking went down? I don't even remember putting the car in park and shutting it off. But apparently that must have been like a no-brainer for my brain to just do that. So I crawl out the passenger side. I'm looking around at the damage. Both his airbags went off. His windshield's busted. The hood's sticking up on it. The radiator busted on his car. Fenders are crinkled up. I mean, this looks like a pile of bent up fucking beer cans at the fucking scrapyard. So we're sitting there, and this one woman comes up, and she's a fucking squealing like a pig. Oh my God, are you guys okay? She's a fucking crying. I'm like, yeah. I said, I think we're good. Do we need to call an ambulance? I said, I don't believe. I said, somebody call a fucking cop. I said, get a cop here. I said, because shit's about to go down. I said, and of course, the last thing on my mind was, kicking that kid's ass. But at the time, I was more concerned about whether he was okay and the situation here, and whether or not we were going to have a pile up on this fucking road, because people were fucking in a hurry running everywhere because they're fucking insane. So anyway, we're assessing the damage. Trooper comes up, says, there's another accident on down the road I got to respond to. If you guys don't need an ambulance, he said, I'm going to go. I said, go. I said, we'll wait on the next cop to get here. He tore ass down the road. Another cop shows up. Gets all our information. So he gets the information. The next thing I know, bam, there's a tow truck there. There's a rollback. And I was like, well, I could probably drive my car out of here. No problem. Well, they're like, nope, we called a rollback. Let him tow it for you. Then I got to looking down. I could hear my tire hissing. I could hear air hissing. And I was like, fuck, I got a flat tire now. I'm fucked because I don't have spare. And I seen how it was all cambered, 25 degrees negatively, which is a good bit, for any fucking vehicle. So that guy, the tow truck driver, jumps in my car, fires it up, and drives it onto the rollback. He's like, oh, hell, your car's runnable. And I was like, yeah, it is. I said, I figured it was. And then another rollback came in, started to cabling up the Cavalier to pull it up on. So I'm standing there. I call my insurance agent, set some stuff up, tell him what happened. I took a picture of his insurance card, which had the bare minimum on it. Didn't even have the agent on there. I had to run around to find out what for fucking agent he had, which we had the same insurance, State Farm, but he had a different agent. He had an agent down in LaVale, and mine's in Frostburg. So we got this all worked out. It was a fiasco running around trying to light a fire under motherfuckers' asses, plus the tow truck driver. He's like, oh, this car's totaled. We're probably going to end up scrapping it. Because you have the scrapyard right across from the mine I work at. So he's telling me that, I know a lot of people that love these as derby cars. I said, yeah, I get it. I said, but it's not going to be a derby car. I said, I want to fix it and run it. Oh, I don't know if that's possible, buddy. They'll probably total this thing. They'll buy it from you. I said, well, regardless of whatever they do, I said, I'm not going to let them have it. I said, I'll buy it back. I'll fix it myself. And that'll be that. Because I can get all the parts. I can fix that car for $500. My cost. I can fix it for $500. So, they take it away. I'm like, why don't you just take it to my house and I'll see what it needs and I'll get on the horn and I'll start ordering shit. No, he says, it's got to be in our yard. Your insurance has to release it. I said, well, okay. I said, I never heard of that. I said, but of course I haven't been in many accidents, so I don't know how this all works. So they take my car. My dad, I had to call him to come down and get me. So I call him to get me. And he comes down, he sees what's going on and all that shit. And everybody's glad I'm not hurt, all that bullshit. So I come home, and then it's like, well, I'm going to have to start running the fucking 84C10 to work. So then the next day I go to work. Everything's okay. Wednesday's an all right day. Well, or I'm sorry. No, it was not. I go into work the next day, and one of my really good friends and co-workers had passed away overnight. He had a blood clot apparently, and he had, I guess, some cardiac issues there that led up to that, and he ultimately passed away suddenly. And the guy was 71 years old. I mean, my dad grew up around him. Of course, my dad's a couple years older than him, but it's a small place around here. We all know each other, so it was sad to hear about that, and it was very upsetting to hear that he had passed. We were all kind of sad at work because he was a hell of a good guy to work with, and he was always laughing and funny. He was always in good spirits, and we joshed him all day long, and pissed with him, I called him oldie because he's an old guy, and hell of a good guy. I'll miss him. And apparently they donated his body to science, so there's not going to be a public viewing or anything like that. So there's just going to be a memorial service. So I'm going to go to that. So anyway, to make stuff even fucking more fantastic, my spouse gives me shit because Donald Trump, what's that on there? That's a little bit of dirt. Anyway, she gives me shit because Donald Trump won the election. He won it by a landslide. It's fucking insanity of how fucking good he really did. It was so fucking awesome how bad he fucking whooped her ass. And now things are going to start coming together. Plus we got the House and we got the Senate. It's all going to come together from here. And it's going to get better. It's going to get better for all of us. And these woke little sissies that are making TikTok videos of crying like bitches because he got in there. I don't know why you're crying, but you need to stop because you're in good hands. He's here for everybody, not just all of us fucking people that voted for him. He's here for all you woke little vaginas too. And maybe we can toughen y'all up. Because, let's face it here. The World Economic Forum had a hold on us. That's what was going, that's the direction we were going in. We were going into slavery is what we was going into. And communism and dictatorship. That's where we was headed. And now we're out of that. We're going to be out of that. And they argue the other side. They say the same thing about, Donald Trump on the other side. Oh, he's going to be a dictator. He's only going to be a dictator on trade his first day in office. He said his pen's going to be smoking, writing executive orders to straighten up the country. And I applaud him, and I am so fucking happy. So, anyway, now to move on to my next crock of shit problem, which I just fixed. All right. Okay, got the Chevelle on the lift. And you see that fucking pan laying right there. It is to this right here, which I went ahead and took off because it is rubbing and I can't get it to stop. All my torque converter bolts and everything are tight. I ran this son of a bitch last weekend. I put it through its paces last weekend. I run her hard. It needs some valve cover gaskets. I got a little transmission leak back here. I tried to tighten up these tail shaft bolts, but they're all fucking tight. So it's not leaking horribly. It looks way worse than what it is. But it's been leaking a little bit since the transmission was put in. So it's been leaking for a while. And my pan, it ain't leaking, thank Christ. But it's got a little bit of backsplash on that. A lot of that's oil from the oil pan here because I got a pinhole in there and it leaks. And the only thing to do is to put another fucking oil pan on it, which I am not going to do. I will deal with a little drip. It doesn't get run that fucking much, so fuck it. But this right here, this is oil. This is engine oil. Oh yeah, engine oil. So we are good under here. Knock on wood. Everything looks good. All right. I had to be towed home last night because that pan was wedged up in there into that fucking flex plate and torque converter so fucking hard that it made this high-pitched fucking squealing, like, I can't even explain it. It was pretty bad. It sounded real bad. It sounded like everything was flying to pieces under here. As I got on it just a little bit. I was in low two and I got on it a little bit. Where some kid next to me, he was holding his phone up, taping me. So I got on a little bit. Next thing you know, I guess this bolt fell out. That pan came down and then it slammed right up into that son of a bitch and just and it was making all kinds of fucking noise. So I was like, what in the fuck? So I didn't know how bad it was. So I was afraid to take it any further. So I found a gas station, pulled in there, and I waited. I called a tow truck that came and got me. So now I got it on the lift here this morning. And that is my problem. And it's not going to be a problem anymore because I am not going to put it back on because I can't get it to stop. You would think for as bad as what it was fucking, it sounded that there would have been a lot more damage there, but there's not. It's just a little bit. It's just like a couple scratches. Which is weird. So anyway. So while I'm under here, I keep getting questions about my exhaust setup. So we're going to go over it real quick. Here's where we're going to start. Of course, we're going to start with the headers. These are old Hedman headers that have been on this car since I owned it. So I didn't take the collector off. I welded the exhaust right to the header because the collector's flanges was getting pretty rough. Or, I mean, you can see they're rusty. They're old. I will end up putting a new set of headers on when I put another engine in here. Because I'm going to build me something stout and put down in here. Or maybe pull this fucker out and put a cam in it. Put some goodies in it, I guess, and put it back in. I don't know. For now, we're just going to run her. But anyway, we come off the header. We come off to a set of eBay glass packs. These are, yes, they're fucking Chinese. But they are stainless steel, and they're 3-inch in and out. That's what I started with. That's what all I had on it for a little while. And then I thought, man, I like the glass pack sound, but I don't like the redneck cackle that much. So I'll show you what else I have on here. Well, you probably already heard me, but anyway, we're going to go over it. And then there's a glass pack on this side. I bought that cheap-ass stainless pipe off eBay. It's not the 304, it's the other one, it's the cheaper stuff. But it's got a little sheen to it. 3-inch tailpipe. And it's shit that I cut and shaped and welded together. It looks like shit, but it's mine. So, I might have to weld that fucking hole shut. Is there a hole in there? Nah, it's just a tiny little one. I'll weld it shut sometime. Anyway, we're over here on this side. It's a jerry rig over here, too. I just stuck it in there, beat the fucking pipe down, welded it. And you see it's leaking because there's a bunch of carbon. You can see where my leaks are. So anyway, we're going to go on back to this piece of straight 3-inch pipe. And we come to a set of Super 10 knockoffs. And these mufflers, I love these fucking Super 10s. They are fucking awesome. They're straight down your fucking throat, right to business. These are 3-inch in and out. And we have mandrel bent tubes that I ordered for over the rear end. And they are tight. They're very tight in here. Real tight to my air shocks, which I don't even think they work anymore. They got a little puff air in them. They might be still working. I can't really see up there. Probably not. But anyway, it's real tight up in there next to that fucking fitting on my air shocks, and I can't help it. They're surviving for now. But it's not important because I can put another set of air shocks on. I'd like to have a set of skyjackers on it anyway. because Skyjackers are fucking badass. They're them old fucking shocks from the 70s. And I have like a stock type Super Sport Chevelle spring under here. I used to have those heavy duty El Camino springs on the back of it, but they just make the motherfucker wheel hops, all they do. So to save myself and a bunch of shit, I went ahead and removed those and put these in, and I may put an airbag in here. If anything else, if the air shocks fail, I will put a fucking airbag in each spring, and we'll pump those up instead. Moving on back. Here's my nuts. Here's what I ended it with. A tailpipe tip that is 3-inch inlet and 4-inch outlet. Yes, it's got rubber all over it. Nuts. Yes, it's got... This is what contributes to the uniqueness of the exhaust system. Is these 4-inch megaphone type fucking tips. They're slant cut. Of course, the one sticking out a little further than the other. Yes, I know. For all you trolls out there that want to bitch about perfection, here we are. That's pretty much it. So, anyhow, that's where we are now. And I'm probably going to head over to Morgantown here in a few minutes to the fucking Sam's Club over there. These tires are just big enough. I was going to put 275 60/15s all the way around, but I said fuck that. We'll keep the 255 70s on it, front and back. They're a pretty good all-around tire. My speedometer is correct, so I don't have to worry about any of that shit. So anyhow, that's pretty much all I got. I'm gonna let this bitch down. I think I'm done fucking around here for now. Get my side cutters here. This fucking old lift, buddy, is a pain in the ass to set up. So, here's a couple other things I want to fuck with later. Like that rocker cover right there. It's my foot kicked it off the one clip that holds it tight. I got to take it all loose and clip it back down. It's a fucking pain in the dick. So anyhow, we got this all squared the fuck away once again. That pan, I really don't want to put that on there. I would rather put a plastic one on it. But I don't know. Anywho, here we are. So everybody, have a good one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I did, before I go out of here, the insurance company, that agent did call me. They're supposed to take my car down to a body shop. They're supposed to tow it down there, get the estimate, and then we're going to go from there. They told me I'm eligible for a rental car and all that shit. I'm not too crazy about the rental car because they will pay fully for it except for like the gas. I got to make sure it's full gas when I take it back. So that I'll have to do. I don't know if I'm going to drive the fucking thing to work or not. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But anyway, everybody, have a good one. Have a great weekend. And now we start with the fucking shitty holidays coming up. And I hope everybody's safe and their loved ones are safe and all that other shit. And we're going to be moving our country now in the right direction. Starting in January, our country is going to start moving in the right direction, and things are going to get better from here. They can't go any other way. Just as long as somebody doesn't try to assassinate him, or they do succeed before he can get in there. But even if they do, we have his running mate. He's just as good. So, everybody, I will see y'all on the next one.